Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Spiff'dUp. So for today's tutorial, I wanted to do a get ready with me using the Master Palette by Mario. I freaking love this palette, and it had been a while since I had done a tutorial on it, using it, so I was like, why not? We're also going to be using the January MorpheMe Brush subscription brushes. This is the first set of brushes that we got for 2017, so I'm so excited to be using them in this tutorial. I was like waiting for them like all month. I was like, oh my gosh. Hurry up and get here. So we got a lot of brushes. We got 5 brushes today. They're all from the Master Black line. So I'm really excited to be using them. I created this look using them. So stay tuned for that. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the MorpheMe Brush subscription, there is a link down below in the description box. You guys can go and click that, subscribe to them. It is $20 a month for the brush subscription, but you get brushes that are worth over $30 total. So I think it's such a great deal, especially if you guys are new to the makeup game, don't have a lot of brushes to work with. This is a great way for a monthly basis to kind of get new brushes to try out and just grow your collection. So definitely look into it. As always, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to follow me on my beauty Instagram, which is @Spiff'dUp. This is the username right here. You guys can go and check out my Instagram. All of the face details for this makeup look will be there as well. So go and do that. Alright, so without further ado, let's just get started with this get ready with me tutorial using the January MorpheMe brushes. I'm gonna go ahead and start off by pulling the hair back because I don't want to get any foundation on it. Oh, okay. So the first brush that I want to start off with is the MB9 brush. This is the foundation brush that Morphe has, and I'm not a big fan of the whole paddle style foundation brush. I just find that it doesn't blend out the foundation that well. Although this is a great brush to go ahead and break up along the face, like a great brush to kind of split up the foundation. You know how sometimes you go in with your finger, and sometimes that can just be a little like gross. So I did love the L'Oreal Total Cover foundation in our last tutorial that we used. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix that in with the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. I feel like whenever you mix these two together, they're just gonna be like a industrial like double duo foundation, which is like cool. So I'm gonna take a little dollop of this onto the back of my hand. I feel like I haven't put that foundation down like at all this week. I feel like I've been using it like every single day. So I'm excited that I'm still subscribed to that little brush subscription, just because I always forget like, oh, I need brushes, you know? And even though I have a lot in my collection, it's nice to have a lot of tools on hand, but a pain when you have to wash them. So I'm going to go ahead and try out a new brush. This is not part of the MorpheMe Brush subscription, but I wanted to try out an oval brush. So this is from Nora's Brushes, but the company that sells them is Little Red Gift, and you can find them on Amazon. And I know that this brush was pretty inexpensive. It was like $9. So we're going to see how this blends out those two foundations. And I can already feel these foundations like drying down. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta blend this out. So it's doing a pretty good job. I like this little oval brush. I think I'm gonna start using this more. So since we are going pretty full coverage, I'm gonna take my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pump 2 on the back of my hand. And the next brush that I'm gonna use to break up that concealer is the smaller brush, which is the MB10. And this is just going to be a great little tool for concealer, for cream contouring, like if you wanna break it up along the face and get very precise with it, especially if you don't wanna get your fingers dirty. I'm gonna go back in with that oval brush, and we're gonna see how this blends out my concealer. And since it does have a little bit of the foundation on there, I feel like it'll make it look a little bit more natural looking. And the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, you guys already know how I feel about this concealer. It's so freaking bomb. I love the mattified finish from it. I love the coverage. The longevity of it especially is unreal. This little brush also comes in handy too, especially if you don't want to use like a beauty blender. Like especially if all your beauty sponges are all dirty. Like you can definitely just go in with this without having to get it wet, without having to towel dry it as well. So just a nice little tool. And I'll leave a link down below for that little oval brush. That way you guys can go and check it out and kind of just see if you're interested in buying it. Alright, so next thing that we're going to take is the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood Illuminator. Can't believe I stopped using this. Like, it's such a nice gold illuminating shade. So I'm just going in there with the Morphe M510 highlighting brush. We're going for that natural highlight. I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in shade number 30, Cafe, and I'm going to take that on the outer perimeters of my face to kind of cream contour. And you can do this before you apply your illuminator, just in case if you're worried that they're going to mix and they're going to look kind of chalky or weird. Definitely, if you forgot, it's never too late until you set your face. So I'm going to take that oval brush just because I want to see. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with my Morphe M516 brush, and I'm just going to contour the nose. I'm going to go ahead and set my face using the Deluxe Powder Brush. This is the MB1, and I'm just taking some airspun powder, and then just lightly just coating my entire face with that translucent powder. Alright, so the brush feels pretty soft, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm noticing like there's hardly any shedding from this brush, actually like no shedding from this brush, which I was kind of scared because sometimes with powder brushes, you can find that you'll get like little brush hairs like stuck on your face and you're like, ugh. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of bake a little bit using the M528 brush. And normally I'll go in with like a beauty blender, but I'm trying to cut back a little bit. I wanna use my brushes. I feel like I have a lot in my collection that I just wanna kind of put to use. Alright, so moving forward, I already dusted off all of that setting powder and I went ahead and I did my brows off camera using the MB29 eyebrow brush, which is that double-ended brush with the spoolie and then the brush itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and start bronzing up my face, even though we did cream contour a little bit and it does look pretty nice. I want to warm up my face just a little bit more because I felt like that setting powder kind of muted the cream contour. So I'm going to go in with my Jane Cosmetics bronzer in Give. And I'm going to be picking up the second to last brush, which is the MB4. And I believe this is just the angled blending brush. So it's very similar to like the MB1 brush where it's very like fluffy. But honestly, whenever I took it into the product, it felt really dense and I was kind of scared that it was going to be like too dense for a bronzer because it would just like pick up too much product, but it's actually doing a pretty decent job. So I like to pull back a little bit right here on my temple just to kind of make sure that everything is nice and precise and clean. That way I'm making sure that I'm hitting every single area that I want to hit without making a sloppy mess. And unfortunately, I'm not ambidextrous, so I have to kind of wrap my arm around and kind of pull it back like this, which is a little silly, but it does the job. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Milani powder blush in Romantic Rose. This is number 1, and I'm just gonna pick that up on the same MB4 brush, throw that right on top, and sandwich the bronzer and the highlighter together. So I'm going to go ahead and spray the Ulla Henriksen Truth Facial Water. This one is just going to help to energize and hydrate the face. I don't want to be a little too matte today. I feel like sometimes whenever you take so many mattified products, they kind of dehydrate and just dry out your face. So I'm going to give a little bit of hydration back to the face. And just kind of fan yourself down. It feels like you're at a spa and you can just relax for a little bit. And then it's reality again. So we are going to highlight just a little bit more, because why not? I'm going to go back in with my Morphe M510 brush and then the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood Illuminator. And we're just going to highlight back on top of this high point right here. And while it's still kind of wet, it'll help to kind of mend all the powders together. I'm like, sometimes I got to stop myself because I'm like, stop it. They're going to look too highlighted. It is only 9 in the morning, Eric. You need to calm down. And then just kind of go back in with that MB4 brush to kind of overlay just on top of that highlighter just a little bit. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and start with this little eye tutorial. I wanted to keep it very easy, very subtle and smoky for you guys, because you guys already know I'm like a lover for a good smoky eye. But I'm going to be using the Master Palette by Mario. I haven't used this in a while in a tutorial, so we're bringing it back. Alright, so I'm going to be taking my Morphe M433 brush. I'm just using this as a blender, and I'm picking up the color Lula. And I'm just going to run that starting on the outer part of the crease area and then kind of bringing it into the inner corner. We are going to be doing like an inverted halo eye where the darker color is going to go in the center and the lighter colors are going to go in the outer part. And I'm going to be kind of taking this outwards just to extend my eye, and I'm just going to be doing windshield wiper motions whenever I hit the crease area. So I'm going to be taking my Morphe M431 brush. This is just a pointed pencil brush, and I'm picking up the color Violetta, and this is just a nice dark brown color. So I'm just going to be using these little pressing motions and kind of just building up that brown color on the inner and outer part. And then for the harsh edges that are on the crease area, we can just kind of go back in with that M433. I'm going to be picking up this flat definer brush, and I'm going to be picking up the color Claudia, and it's just this pretty navy blue color, which I'm going to assume that this shadow was named after Norvina, which her name is Claudia, which I think that's so cute, like that he dedicated a shadow to her. So all I'm doing is that I'm just pressing onto my lid area, but I like it that I'm using this flat definer brush because I can get very precise like as to where I want to stop with the shadow. I'm also trying to go like into an inverted triangle as well. I kind of got my inspiration from when Glam & Gore did her like New Year's Eve makeup look, and it was sort of like a triangle that was going downwards, and I was like, damn, this is actually kind of cool. So for those edges, I'm just going to go back in with that 433 brush and blend those out, and that'll help it to kind of soften up. And if you find that you kind of lost a little bit of that color, you can go back in and kind of just pat it, and then those go back in and just blend that out. For my inner corner highlight, I'm taking the color Paris in the palette and I'm popping that right there. And it's just a nice taupey brown shimmer. And then I'm taking that as my brow highlight as well, using the Morphe M133 brush. And then if you find that you got it too, like you put too much product and it was mixing it with the shadow, you can go back in with that M433 and blend that out. There's a lot of blending in this makeup look, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm popping a little black into the waterline, and I'm just taking it onto the waterline. I'm not taking it onto my lash line. And then I'm gonna be picking up Violetta again on that 431 pencil brush, and then just blending that out. And then going in with that 433. This is like one of my favorite blending brushes, honestly. And I'm just taking whatever is left on it. I didn't pick up another shadow. For lashes today, I'm taking the Ardell Double Wispies. I kind of used them already, so they're kind of like messed up in the packaging, but this is what they look like. Alright, and then for lips today, we're going to be taking the newest Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in Sanctuary. And I'm going to be applying that with our last brush, which is the MB19. So it's this little lip brush right here. That way we can get very precise with it whenever we're applying this liquid lipstick. So I'm going to take a little bit onto the back of my hand. Alright guys, and that is the end of this makeup tutorial here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you aren't already subscribed to the MorpheMe Brush subscription, go ahead and click that link down below in my description box, and that'll just take you to my reference code and you guys can sign up through me. And yeah, if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, make sure to do that and give this video a thumbs up as well. I love you all so much, and until the next tutorial, I'll see you later. Bye!